Good morning, everyone. This is Michael with Michelin Metals. And guess what today is? Today is Talk About Nickel and Cobalt Alloys Day. Woohoo! I mean, that's like the most fun thing ever. Okay? But before we jump in, if you could, just remember to subscribe. Click that little button right there. That's the one. It says MMI. If you can, subscribe. Click it. Thank you. If not, one of these. Little thumbs up if you like the video. I would appreciate it. It would be super helpful. Now, on to nickel and cobalt. Today, we start a series of videos that introduces two groups of metals that are not iron-based like the stainless heat and corrosion-resisting steels we discussed earlier. We saw that increasing other elements like nickel and chromium and molybdenum in a steel boosted the corrosion and temperature performance. So at some point, metallurgists no longer consider the alloy an iron-based steel. And with that said, we introduce you to nickel and cobalt alloys. We will divide these solely based on the UNS system, which is the Unified Numbering System chemistry category. The UNS system is a combined effort of SAE, which is the Society of Automotive Engineers, and ASTM, American Society for Testing and Materials. But please keep in mind, these both differ from the Aerospace Material Specifications, or AMS specs. Nickel and nickel alloys have a UNS chemical composition designation of N, followed by 5 numbers, and the cobalt alloys are followed by 5 numbers. Some proprietary types may not have been assigned a UNS designation, and that's totally acceptable. The element that we consider to be the base just means that it is the major alloying element in that particular metal alloy. Often these alloys contain both nickel and cobalt in addition to other elements. The nickel alloys, more nickel than cobalt, and the cobalt alloys, wait for it, more cobalt than nickel. Okay, now that we've established our rules, we can discuss a couple grade names and their generic counterparts. So in this category of the nickel base, we have common proprietary names like Monel, Inconel, Incoloy, Haynes, Waspaloy, Nimonic, and Hastelloy, as well as generic versions designated only by the alloy number. For instance, we have nickel 200, or alloy 200, or in this case, Monel 400 or alloy 400, Monel 405, Monel K 500, or alloy 405 or alloy 500. And the same thing goes with Inconel and Hastelloy. There's Inconel 600, 625, 718, 800, 825. There's also all those in alloy, so alloy 600, alloy 625, alloy 718, and so on. Hastelloy, again, is a trade name, but they have grades C22, C276, and Hastelloy X. If you wanted the generic counterpart, those would just be alloy C22, alloy C276, or alloy X. There's a bunch more, but that's a good start. So, for example, again, Inconel 600 products would require the trade name, Inconel 600, and alloy 600 would just be the generic alloy. They're pretty much the same thing. Just like Tylenol and acetaminophen at your local drugstore. They're pretty much the same thing, just a different label. In the cobalt base, we have trade names of Haynes and Stellite, L605, and MP35N. Now, cobalt is extremely expensive. So, if you ever need to buy that material, hang on to your hats. That does not mean the other nickel grades are cheap, because all the nickel and cobalt alloys are expensive, but cobalt just especially so. Typical applications are found where higher temperatures or the corrosion environment favor these alloys over the heat-resistant stainless steel types we've discussed before. Most of these alloys cannot be strengthened by heat treatment, but several can be strengthened by a precipitation hardening treatment. Specifications have more requirements than just a chemical composition. So always remember to, what? Check the spec. So, this wraps up our brief discussion on nickel and cobalt alloys. Stay tuned and we will dive much deeper into each grade for a much higher detailed discussion about the specific grade attributes. Thank you for watching. And don't forget, if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button right here. Hit that guy. Hit it. And if you missed any of our videos before, right here. Right here. Just click that. Thanks for tuning in. This is Michael with Michelin Metals. I'm out.